Hello everyone, my name is Talia Washington-Wiley, and here's my presentation on NetEase Youdao, a translation company based in China that developed from just a simple translation tool to a product matrix. NetEase was a leader in China's translation market with over 800 million users and 80% of the market share, and a revenue of over 1.5 billion. This started as a simple translation tool with the dictionary and then expanded into a product ecosystem that could grow with the user. Stated earlier, NetEase's goal was for their products to grow with the customers, and at the time, they saw a need for online learning materials because of an online education boom. And this is where 16 products were developed in their portfolio under the four categories of online learning, online courses, smart devices, and content interaction courses. The four categories had some distinct products that stood out to me, one being for online learning, the Translator app, for online courses, the premium courses, the third being the translation egg, which is a smart device. And lastly, Youdao Math, a content interaction course aimed towards kids. A little background is, as earlier I stated, an online education boom occurred, and this started as soon as 2012. And NetEase knew that they needed to become a part of this market, and that's why they just started developing products for online learning. And with these products, they decided to cater to different audiences, including students with products like Youdao Math, corporations, teachers, parents, young adults, and adults, because they saw a trend in these people using online learning for these specific kind of tools. This online education included services, content, tools, and comprehensive platforms. So, like for young adults who could have been college students, they used these products to help with studying for exams, like the English comprehension exam. Because it was a newer market with an online education boom, they saw much competition in the market, but it was also set aside because of their greater share in the market at the time. And primarily, the focus was on more language learning for NetEase because that became more prevalent online with learning languages like English and French. And specifically for NetEase and other companies in China, they would look at outsourcing their translator as well as developing technology where they could stand as a provider, like providing smart devices to corporations for their usage. NetEase found that there were two problems that came with introducing a product matrix. The first problem was changing their image because they were seen as only a translation tool. They needed to show that they were a full online education based platform with multiple options for the user to use. And the second problem was increasing their media presence, which meant becoming more prevalent in media and generating awareness for all audiences. I feel like this could have been avoided by using a more diverse marketing mix, which we will get into that in a few, and not having only one avenue too early. feel like too early they focused on wanting it to be a translation tool that could be used for all, rather than focusing on the individual needs of the different categories of users, which led to missed opportunities for reach and profit in the beginning. Here is the marketing mix that was used. Well, we will first get into what a marketing mix is. A marketing mix is how a company chooses to combine traditional and digital media to generate awareness around its brand and promote its services. These were the types used by Youdao. They use social media, content marketing, entertainment marketing, event marketing, partnerships, and PR. All of these were used to increase media presence and more so to talk about the benefits of and the components of the products rather than to sell the products. They wanted the people to understand more so that they had changed from being a translation tool to being an online education system. And a part of this was the many product launches that were conducted by them, which we will get into that later as well. The execution of these marketing tactics did take place over a couple years. The first being the implementation of the new slogan, Word to the World. This meant that Word to the World was going to be the new brand identity to show that it's not just translation, but it's about education. For social media, they participated in blogs, interactive games, and short form content. Then later on, they went on to create a H5 form ad that they released in 2017, Global Pronunciation released in April of 2014, and Expression Translation that came out in August 2016. The pronunciation and the translation were more so used for those who were already using the platform. And so when they went online or into the app, they would see these options and be able to use them. Next, we have sponsorships for the TV singing party and offering 10,000 free course hours, as well as sponsoring organized contests. These were aimed more so towards the older audience, like the young adults, because some of the sponsored and organized contests auditioned college students. They also partnered with shows and arts like Rap of China to appeal to people on a television standpoint. They also participated in an on-air conference for the release of their new smart device, allowing the invited attendees to test its power of offline usage on a jet. And then to round things out, they also participated in physical exhibitions so that the clients could have hands-on experience with the products as well as print media publicity. And the results of this execution was as follows. Overall, the brand saw an increase in engagement, retention, and visibility. For content marketing, they got 7 million users attraction and 9.5 million page views, as well as 5.7 million plays on Weibo. They received 600K views for the contest finals, 1.5 million views live, and 400 media reports. And lastly, they had from PR, they received 10 million plus in exposure and 5 million plus viewers. From these results, we can note that the campaign was successful in helping the brand transition from translation tool to product matrix. From this campaign, I can see that the brand took on a variety of campaign types to combine them all into one for their greater goal. They combined rebranding, product launch, social media, PR, and brand awareness. The rebrand can be seen with its new slogan. Product launch would be the in-air trial of the new product. Social media, the blogs, games, and videos. PR, reports, exhibitions, print media, and brand awareness is shown in the shows, contests, and pretty much all the tactics used to get their media in front of the audience. As far as my recommendations for the future, I feel like first and foremost, the brand should participate in further audience research and segmentation. The online education boom just started in 2012 and it has been 14 years since. If the brand did further audience research, they could find out what the audience truly needs at this point in time, and instead of trying to make universal products again like they did in the beginning, they could continue to make products for the specific things that each people need so that it is a whole ecosystem rather than one product for everything. And another feature I think that they should incorporate would be user generated marketing, because a lot of the users are online, which goes to show that with how the brand marketed more digitally than traditionally. So I feel that incorporating user generated marketing will show how the product works for those who cannot come in person to demo them, and that they can see it also from a more authentic standpoint because they are seeing people like them use the products and are essentially getting an idea of how they can use it themselves. And to wrap up, here are some discussion questions I had for you all to conclude this presentation about NetEase Youdao and its product matrix. Youdao developed its product portfolio to cater to different users' demographics. Its efforts have been primarily targeted towards its older users. How could these strategies be modified to increase younger audience retention? Question 2. Youdao is working towards moving from its previous image towards a more diverse one because of its enhanced product portfolio. How can the company shed the old image without losing its inherent identity when promoting these new products? And lastly, from the marketing mix, it can be said that there is an imbalance in digital media and traditional media, with digital media being more heavy. Is the balance capable of gaining awareness and retention, or should it be more evenly distributed? Thank you all for watching my presentation, and I cannot wait to see your responses to the discussion questions. Bye.